starting the second unit of cost accounting called as material cost control. So under this chapter, we're going to briefly study about what do you mean by materials, what are the objectives, right? Why do you need to have a material cost control? Why is it important to have a control over the materials a company or a business can possess? And what are the types of materials, right? What exact are all the materials the same, or is it categorized into various types of materials to have control over? And then we have materials procurement. Remember the first three topics that we see, that is the introduction of materials, materials procurement, material storage and records, is a theory concept. So you're going to understand what materials is, right? The second one is how do you procure it. That means you as a company, right, or you as an accounts department, how are you able to purchase the raw materials required for the production? Okay, at what price are you purchasing, at what quantity, at what quality of raw materials are you purchasing? All these questions comes under the topic of materials procurement. Okay, it cannot just be raw materials, it can be fixed assets, etc. Second, materials storage and records. That means all the goods that you have purchased, right? The raw materials in whatever form, how are you able to store it? Okay, are you storing in the godown, right? What is the method of storage? And records, definitely. Every time you're going to receive the goods from the supplier, you need to make an immediate record in the record book or the materials record book, right? The management has to have a control over or an information about how many materials are in stock, how many materials are to be purchased in the upcoming days, or is the stock or is the materials in the godown overstocking? All these questions or topics comes under the material storage and records. That is, how are you going to store the materials, and are you going to keep an accurate record of the same? The last topic in this chapter is materials issues and valuation. That means basically once you have completed the production process of materials, that is from the raw materials into the finished goods, once that whole process is complete, the materials or the products are ready for sale purpose. Okay, now issue means what? Selling or sale of your finished goods. Now, how are the materials sold? In what method? You remember when I gave you the subject orientation, I gave you the heads up about FIFO method, LIFO method, weighted average, simple average, etc. There are various ways where you have to, sell your finished goods to the market and valuation. So, how are you going to value it? Because the first in, first out, the price is going to be different at which you sell. Last in, first out, the price is different. Weighted average method, the price is different. And simple average method, the price is different. All the four different types of issues has four different methods of valuation. Okay, the price at which you sell the good to the market is going to differ based on which method of issue are you following. Is it FIFO method? Is it LIFO method? Is it weighted average or simple average? Okay, so the first three topics that you see on the screen are going to be complete theory part, and the last one is where your problems on material cost control begins. So let's understand the meaning of materials. According to CIMA, material cost is the cost of commodities supplied to the undertaking. So simply, whatever materials that you're going to procure or purchase from the suppliers is meant to call as what? Material cost. So at what cost are you purchasing those materials is considered to be as what? Material cost. The term materials refers to all commodities consumed in the process of manufacturing. As I told earlier, all the types of materials what you require for manufacture or what you require for production. Let's say, for example, I am manufacturing furniture. Mine is a furniture industry. Okay, that doesn't mean my only material is wood over there. Okay, although wood is the basic material for any manufacturing company, but I also need other commodities or other materials, like I need a nut, bolt, screws, I need oil, I need polishing paper, I need machines, I need lot of other things. Okay, that is the meaning of all commodities that has to be what? Consumed in the process of manufacturing. So it depends upon what kind of business you have started into. Is it with respect to plastic, with respect to wood, glass, metal? So all those materials will come under the material cost control. Next study, what are the objectives of material control system? Now, why is it important, or uh, what priority does it take to have a material control system separately? Okay. Number one is to make continuous availability of materials so that there may be an uninterrupted flow of materials for production. Now, objectives here means, even though it can otherwise be called as, what is the importance? Okay, why is it important to have a material control system? Number one, continuous availability of materials. Because if our production is halted because of lack of raw materials in stock, automatically it will impact our company's products demand in the market. When it is demanded in the market and we are not able to supply it, that will affect our business badly, right? Therefore, we need to make sure we need to have a proper control system over the materials. The number one reason is our production must not be interrupted. Okay, that means stopped or paused. Okay, uninterrupted means there's a continuous flow of production. Number two, to purchase a requisite quantity of materials to avoid locking up of working capital and to minimize risk of surplus and obsolete stores. Now, it's also important that the kind of raw materials that I buy, I need to have a proper timing to it. When do I actually require? I just purchase when it is needed or most required. Because if I'm going to do unnecessary quantity of purchase of materials, let's say I only need 100 kgs this week, but then I purchase 150 kgs of raw materials. What is the result of it? There is 50 kgs extra raw materials. Basically, I'm spending more money, okay, for the materials, but then that money has blocked my working capital. Okay, that money which I purchased extra 50 kgs was supposed to be used to clear out my bills or to pay my electricity bill or labor charges, etc. That's what called as avoid locking up working capital. Okay, I need to plan my material purchase in such a way, okay, as and when it is required without affecting the working capital required for the company. Okay, so as to what? Minimize the risk of surplus and obsolete stores. So it's a natural thing when we have too much of a material, we tend to waste it. Okay, and the other thing is, if we have too much of stock, it might get even obsolete. That means it might become out of fashion, or there might be a new substitute raw material available in the market. So whatever we have overstocked here becomes obsolete. That means it's no more required for the production or business purpose. Got it? So the second importance why we need control system is avoid locking up of working capital. Number three, to make purchase competitively and wisely at the most economical prices so that there may be reduction of material cost. All of us focus on this, right? Even in life or even in business, we want to buy anything that we want to buy at a reasonable price. Okay, not at a cheaper price because the quality is not guaranteed over there, not at a very higher price, right? We want to buy things at a reasonable price. Now same applies to even business or the production department. The department has to make sure the materials are purchased competitively and wisely, right? Now just because there's an offer of 50% off, you don't go purchase 200 kgs of raw materials over there. No, you have to look at even the quality, right? Because the quality of the finished goods is directly dependent upon what? Quality of raw material. Therefore, I also need to make sure I purchase them at a economical price, that is at a reasonable price, so that there may be reduction of material cost. Number four, to purchase proper quality of materials to have minimum possible wastage of materials. As I told, if you're going to buy just because there's an offer and you buy lump sum or higher, very large quantity of raw materials, and then when you go actually use it, check the material for production purpose, you find the goods to be damaged, right? You find the goods to have some kind of damage in it, so of course you cannot use it. If it's a damaged product, you cannot use it. At the end, what does it turn into? It turns into wastage. You cannot use it, so it's a waste. So whatever you have put money to purchase, that is again a waste investment or a dead investment. So we need to purchase proper quality. So we need to check the quality of materials whenever we are purchasing. You guys can always relate when we are buying individual product, right? You buy it carefully. But whenever you're buying it at bulk, there are always possibilities of one or two defect products. Yes or no? They're always bound to happen defect products. Same thing can apply to materials. So we need to buy not only at economical prices but also at a quality materials so that there is what? Minimum possible wastage. Number five, to serve as an information center to the materials, knowledge for prices, sources of supply, lead time, quality, and specification. Now, so this is the last importance or objective of material cost control, where I'm focusing upon having, why do I need material cost control is because it has to serve as an information center. For whom is it an information center? Not only for the production department because they are only working on it, but also for the accounts department who sanctions the amount of money, or for the management who makes decisions to how much budget should I allocate for purchase department. Okay, for various departments, for production department, for accounts department, for management, for all these departments, it serves as a information center. Okay, how many materials did we purchase at what price, right? From whom did we purchase? Supplier A, B, C, D. From whom did we supply? Okay, and what is the lead time required for goods to be converted into raw materials to finished goods? What is the quality? What is the specification? As I told, materials means there are a lot of materials, right? So I need to also have a specification. Category A materials, this is the stock. Category B material, that is the spare parts, this is the stock. So I need to be specific about what material storage do I possess. Okay, so these are the 5 different reasons why material cost control is important for manufacturing concerns. Next, we have the classification of material. There are two classifications, direct, indirect. Direct material means that can be easily identified with the finished product. Simple. The meaning is simple. What is direct material? That means you're able to identify. Okay. Example, as I just told, building. What is easily identified over there? The cost of bricks. Let's say, for example, of furniture, right? What is easily identified? The amount of wood they have used, or the cost of wood they have used in the furniture. Cotton used in textile industry. All these are easily identifiable. The moment you look at it, you know this is the material cost of the this particular product. Opposite, what is indirect material? These are materials which cannot be conveniently identified. Definitely, we cannot identify how much of oil was used, right? How much of polishing paper was used, how many nuts and bolts and screws were used in the process of production. You can take for the example of a car manufacturing company, right? You do not know the exact amount of nuts and bolts, how many they have used. Definitely, right? Those amounts to indirect material because it is not easily identifiable. What is easily identifiable is the direct material. Uh, what cannot be easily identified is the indirect material. The other terms in cost accounting is inventory. What is inventory? It covers stock of raw materials, work in progress, and finished goods. So on a whole, when I say inventory, it consists all the three. That is raw materials, work in progress, finished goods. Waste. Waste has been identified as that portion of basic raw material which is lost in processing. Can you look at that picture bottom, right? In the process of making a furniture, right, there is a some kind of wastage that is left in processing which does not have any recovery value. Such items are called as what? Waste. There's another item called as scrap, which has a residual value. I'm sure you've come across this word. It is identified as an incidental residue from certain types of manufacture, usually of small amount and low value, recoverable without further processing. Now here we can see, read that word, uh, of small amount and low value. That means scrap is also one kind of a waste, right? Or one kind of thing which is left in the process of manufacture, but then it has some kind of value. It is not as important as a finished good, no, but it has low value. Okay, you can see at the second picture, those are some kind of scrap that is left over in the process of manufacture of steel or metal, etc. Material control. Now, this is the second topic from the contents page that I've showed you. Now, material control is a systematic control over purchasing, storing, and using of material so as to have the minimum possible cost of materials. Remember, they might ask you, give the meaning of material control. What is it? It's a systematic control over three aspects. I have to purchase, that is the materials procurement. Second, how do I store it? Material storage and records. Number three, using of materials, that is I've used the materials in order to sell it to the market or sell it to the customer. That is material issues and valuation. So our material cost comprises of three things, that is the purchases and receipt, storage, and issue and valuation. When I combine all the three of these material, it becomes material cost control. Got it? So this is what we're going to be further studying in the upcoming classes. Okay, we'll be studying individually what is materials procurement, materials storage and records, and materials issues and valuation. Hope you have understood the introductory class of the second unit.